And we are live. I just want to give this timer a little bit of time because I have no idea what stream you are. But anyway, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Comic Book Weekly, the show where we talk about comic book news, our top 5, and all stuff's comic geek nerd related. I'm Chris, Dark Avenger C86. Next to me is Cat Comic Uno.
How's it going, guys?
Diagonally below both of us is Mike Duderock 18.
Hey, guys.
We are unsure if Brant Fowler, Last Ember Press, will be joining us. We're hoping so. And Mike Spider Slayer, Comic Book Corner 2.0, unfortunately will not be with us. It's summertime. It's summer camp time, and everybody knows how busy Mike gets. So we miss him.
And
we
that
hope
heat, man, I can only imagine. I was finally the basketball courts are back, so I was like, I'm gonna go play basketball, and I couldn't even stand it. For 30 minutes, I couldn't stand it. Hey, so for Mike to be there for hours, I can't imagine.
We beat Miami yesterday with a 97-degree weather.
So hot.
That was I literally put clothes out, and within an hour, it was dry on the clothesline. That was crazy.
But point being, we understand why Mike's can't make it. He would love to make it, but he's totally beat after he does his camp. Yeah. And I think he said like next 2 weeks he'll be wrapping up. So he'll be back with us, but he wants to be here. He's not ditching us. He's just got a lot going on right now.
Exactly. And I want to say hello to Bavarian and hello to Melody Scott, who was brought here by Kat.
Yeah,
Kat
welcome.
Here it is. It's over here. Kat told me this podcast, so I wanted to check it out. Should I be here now? I already have. Yes, you should be here now. We're live now. And we have
I think because we put 11 by accident. So I think because Brant was.
I fixed it. I fixed it at the last 10 minutes to set to 10 o'clock. But yeah, no, I don't know why it was set to 11. That was a whoopsie. No, we're live at 10. At 11 o'clock, we should be halfway, if not almost most of the way through the show. So yeah, no, we're not starting at 11.
Yeah, we're good. I don't know if you introduced Michael or not, or else
I did.
Yeah, you did.
I introduced everybody. So we're gonna go to Kat for the news. We got a lot of interesting news this week, and I'm gonna try to stay positive, but there are some things I do have to say.
We do have that title too, so we'll have to talk about that. But all right, let's get into first up, Marvel revealing their new event. So if you read the Free Comic Book Day book, there was a little teaser.
I missed it, but I saw the article that I read told what happened in the book, so I know what happened in the book because of the article.
It's a really small scene anyways. It's just Iron Man's flying, power goes out, his suit gets, obviously depowered. He gets hit by like a plane, I think, and his limbs go off and it looks like he's dying. So it's written by Tom Taylor. I don't know if this is in continuity. I don't think it is from knowing what Tom Taylor is all about, but it's the concept of it's an event. And what's the concept of what was everyone doing when the lights went out? What is that collective feeling, which I do find interesting, especially as we deal with a pandemic and we all have collective feelings. What is everyone doing in that one moment? So, it's Tom Taylor. He does a great job with these type of stories. I'll definitely pick it up. I just hope it's not in continuity because they've done enough to Iron Man these days.
It can't be in continuity, especially because we're just going through Empire, and Empire is already late. So you're going to have two events colliding with one another come, I think this was supposed to be October, September it's dropping.
I think so. I think it was October, but I don't know.
It's just Marvel, man. It's great that Marvel's back in full swing, but geez, I mean, so many events, and then we've got Venom's event that's still coming with Cull, and there's so many of Marvel is, I swear, you'd think that they'd slow down a little bit because of the pandemic. That's all. It's just when I saw this, I'm like, another event? We just started Empire with the horrid checklist of 1 million books, and now we're getting another event. The saving grace is it's Tom Taylor. Like you said, it might not be in continuity. So I'm gonna read it, but probably won't collect it. I'll probably wait for the trade.
I mean, I'm going to probably at least try out the first issue and
I'm going to read it. Yeah, I'm going to read the first issue. Yeah, but it's just so many events. I mean, it's great to see Marvel's still moving forward like nothing happened.
Marvel is moving forward, except with the books they've promised, like Power Pack and Runaways. And
they cut one series. They cut with the teenage superheroes and more. Oh, come on.
I don't know if they cut it. New Warriors?
No, not New Warriors. They cut the event. What the heck was the event called now?
Outlaw?
Wow. The event where Kamala was hurt. Oh my
Outlawed.
God. Outlawed. Thank you. Yeah. Outlawed. They cut that, but then they extended Swords of X
I
to a
don't know, man.
ridiculous
We'll
level.
see. We'll see where all that goes, and I'm sure they're still trying to pick up the pieces. But speaking of X of Sword, there's a new villain you wanted to discuss for that.
I didn't get a chance. I don't remember the name of the villain, but it's going to be interesting. It's going to be something to collect, something to pick up for sure. I'm just happy that Jonathan Hickman's X-Men has been a really entertaining read so far for me. I mean, I'm not reading every single X book. Again, it's a lot of books, though. I feel like we're going to be back to a lot of books from Marvel really, really
A lot
soon.
of event books is what sucks. You know, I love a lot of their ongoings and miniseries, but the events, they're too much for me. I never really like them. It's very rare if I like a Marvel event. Like I really liked War of the Realms, but it was so like within Jason Aaron's story, it didn't really feel like an event. So
the question
we'll talk about Empire.
The question is, do you get burnt? Oh yeah, we'll definitely talk about Empire. But the question is, will Marvel cause event burnout? Because then you also have DC on the other spectrum doing death metal. We don't know if 5G is or isn't happening, or what the ramifications of death metal is going to be now. This again, it's a lot of burnout. It's a lot of event burnout. I agree with you, Kat. I love the ongoings, but they should space their events out just a little bit more.
Just a little. All right, it's hard because of the coronavirus and all that, but
yeah.
All right, let's go into something that Michael wanted to talk about. We got Keanu Reeves, who's going to be writing a comic for Boom. So how do you feel about that, Michael?
So I actually was really excited that Keanu Reeves is writing a comic book because recently he did create a video game, but then seeing him in a comic book, you know, he comes up with like all these creative ideas. Like I've, you know, seen all of Keanu Reeves's work, and you know, to think of what he could do in a comic book could be, you know, if most likely just absolutely creative and amazing. So I'll definitely be looking forward to knowing what the title is, and then maybe take a look at it and see what he has in mind for a story.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's go into Fantastic Four getting a new status quo change with issue 25. I mean, I'm continuing to read Fantastic Four, but I don't even know if I want to pick it up as Empire is going on. So already I'm like,
yeah, I stopped Fantastic Four. I was tempted to get it this week because Spider-Man Wolverine and that cover was gorgeous, but no, I'm with you. I'm probably not going to pick it up until after Empire, and I think 25 happens in Empire, and it's like, why are we changing the status quo of the Fantastic Four? Weren't they gone for like 3 years? Shouldn't we leave the Fantastic Four alone?
Let's just get regular adventures, and I've been enjoying Dan Slott's run, but I think, you know, doing so much, let's just get the regular adventures here.
The only event I refuse so far is X of Sword, and I can understand why, Bavarian. It's a lot of books.
A lot. I mean, I'll be reading the X-Men books I get. That's it.
I'll be reading them, but I collect all of my X-Men books in trade now because there's just way too many. And now with the Swords of X, yeah, no, I'll probably just continue with everything in trade. It's just a lot of money otherwise.
So moving on to another celebration for 100 issues. Issue 5 of Spider-Woman's coming out, but they're celebrating 100 issues for Spider-Woman. And
it's going to be $10. Of course it's going to be $10. And I'm not getting
it. I love we said we're going to be positive.
I try. I'm really trying. It's just there are certain things it's very hard to be. I mean, I love Spider-Woman right now.
It's good.
First 2 issues. I love it. This is not even me being upset at the book. This is me being upset that Marvel is looking for any way to make a book $10. And it's the fact that issue 5 is the 100th issue of Spider-Woman.
It just started. And then it goes into ruining storylines that, like, yeah, Spider-Woman's really good. And now you're kind of forcing this a very big book. And I don't know. I don't love the idea of it. So, but I'll pick it up because I'm reading Spider-Woman, or else I wouldn't. I don't really care about these anniversary issues at this point.
Absolutely.
Right. Let's go into, I don't know if Brant will be here, so I'm going to leave that. Let's go to the White Knight. Harley Quinn will have a prequel short story within the red black black, white, and red digital book. I will say what's interesting, because Chris wasn't here for this, but Marvel's stepping back from the digital because they're like, oh no.
They actually did a U-turn and started saying, hey, you know what? We're going to release everything. Everybody was so upset. You're going to get your books in August, September. Every book that we made digital only is getting.
And I'm getting them too. I'm going to support it. I'm getting the books, at least most of them. Maybe some of the miniseries, like Ant-Man. I didn't like it. But I'll get Jane. Yeah,
I'm going to get Avengers of the Wasteland. I want to finish that, and I want to get the last 2 issues of Star. There was another one. What was the other book that and Spider-Gwen, duh. The last Spider-Gwen issue.
And Spider-Gwen. So like those, I want to support it. But going back to the story, the DC is really shifting into these digital books, especially like these side stories. And it still doesn't make me want to get black, white, and red, especially because a lot of these stories I feel like don't do much. They're not like really affecting much. So I'm gonna wait until this book comes out physically, because they did say they're gonna have a physical collection, I think single issues for black, white, and red. So I'm gonna wait for it. The first chapter was good for when I read it. So
I saw it. I haven't touched it yet. The only digital only stuff I'm reading from DC is Hope of World's End right now.
Yeah,
you should watch Melody. Kat swears by it.
I love it, especially season 2.
And I can. Oh, go ahead, Kat. Finish.
No, you go. You're gonna.
I was just gonna say I agree with Real Manos. With everything going on and all the stresses, a dumb, fun Marvel event would be great. I don't know if he's talking about the Tom Taylor one, Sword of X. The thing is, my only issue is there are too many events. So specifically, Real Manos, if it's one specific event, totally get you. And I totally agree with you with all the stresses going on.
And I don't even know if the events are, like, for me, that's not dumb fun. Like, we'll talk about a book that's not dumb fun, but was just fun. And that, like, really got me de-stressed from, what's been going on. And we'll talk about this week. But events, like, make me more stressed out. So I'm just like, like, what's going on in these? They're not really, a lot of times they're not character driven and they're just plot driven, and it's plot we've seen 10,000 times. So I like, if I want to be engrossed in a story, it's going to be a single character story, and like Spider-Woman, or, if it is a team book like Runaways. The events don't do it for me. We do have some comments here. Colin says, how many, I think Chris reads this, how many of you guys read that Texas Blood from Image?
Loved it. Oh, it was great. I agree. It was a really good book. I can't wait for issue 2, and I don't know if I was going to highlight that. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Kat, you might know. Are they going back to the?
I don't. I mean, I can only guess that they are. I mean, if they're doing something like that, they probably will, but I don't think anything's been confirmed.
And then I'm going to hit this one because it's such a Tevye statement anyway. They're never coming back because John is in the future and way older than Damian now.
We see team up, so I think that's what we're going to get now. Anything.
He was in Teen Titans, but he left. He walked away. So, I mean, I don't think we're getting another Super Sons volume.
Yeah, it was just a brief second.
I think they're going to continue with, like,
a few seconds.
and I think they'll continue with the grade school stuff. They'll have, like, the little graphic novels they're doing.
Yeah, those are really good, and I'm saving those for Tommy because I got the Super Sons. I got did I get Swamp Thing? I think I got Swamp Thing, and I got the Superman one.
Well, we got 35 viewers right now, so thank you so much.
You guys are awesome. Thank you for being here.
Yes, and all right, let's go into the next thing here.
But I do agree with just one real quick.
Yeah, no, you go.
People are agreeing. Empire, Death Metal, Swords of X, probably the Black King even should be good. However, it's a lot of money to shell out, and that's where I was going. And then again, you got all these other events that are coming up soon. Yeah, it's a lot of money. That's why you got to pick and choose what you enjoy, and there's always trades. That's where I'm going with certain trades.
So the next news piece we got is that Nightwing's returning in October. It just took
like a year, 2 years?
About a year? Yeah.
It was Dan Jurgens. He did it. I knew.
I mean, he's been on the book for a while, hasn't he? Or maybe he hasn't. No, he's been on Batman Beyond. Yeah, he came on after a year's worth of Dick having amnesia. He came on right after something. He came on, I think, an arc or two ago, but I knew, if anything, the person who was going to write him back was going to be Dan Jurgens. That's why I had a good feeling with Joker War. Yeah, I will see if it's good through. Sorry, there's ice going on. I will see if it's good through Chris's recommendation. I don't know if I'm going to pick it up right away, but I am very much more interested in this Nightwing than the old Nightwing that we were getting.
I I'm reading this for the Joker War. The only problem was with this week's issue, and why I didn't hit my top 5 was I read the previews because they were the coronavirus messed everything up. So I wanted to make sure that the next Nightwing pre-order book was 73, and it kind of gave away events that were going to happen in Nightwing 72, and it's like, oh well, okay. And Jurgen's been on the book for a while now. Batman Beyond is hella good. It is 100% agree with you.
I read it as a casual read. It's definitely and I do not like Batman Beyond. I'm enjoying what I've seen of Batman Beyond. All right, next up is something from Michael, a new Ninjak series, very different art style. How do you feel about this?
Well, with the different art style, like I'm hoping with the Ninjak story, they're gonna go in a great direction from Valiant. I mean, I trust that Valiant's gonna have like an awesome Ninjak story because in every Ninjak volume that I have read, you know, I like the direction that they were going with it, with different, whether he's on the sidelines doing a mission or whether it's more of his origin story that's explained. But more or less, like I haven't read Ninjak in I think a year it's been already almost, because it's been like a pretty long time since I read a Ninjak comic book. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing how they're going to bring back Ninjak as well as the direction of stuff.
I love you, Real Manos. I really do. I'm sure Nightwing coming back has nothing to do with Dan Didio leaving. I'm sure a lot of things that are going to be happening in DC Comics aren't because Dan Didio's gone now.
We do have another question from Colin. Just pretty much, how do we feel about Three Jokers? I'm stoked. I'm really excited for it. So.
Same.
All right, let's go into Terry Moore announces a new graphic novel. I'm a huge Terry Moore fan. Obviously he's done Strangers in Paradise, Motor Girl, all those fun books, Rachel Rising. So I think it's cool that he's not doing a mini or an ongoing and going straight to a graphic novel. So I'll definitely be picking up, and I'm sure Brant will be picking it up as well. It's only going to be 70-something pages, too. So that should be interesting. All right, let's move on to Tom King. He's going to be writing a Rorschach series. So that was kind of the big news. It was trending on Twitter like all day when that was announced.
I don't know how I feel about Rorschach in DC. I don't know.
And I don't know how I feel about Tom King writing it. There's books I really like from Tom King. Like I enjoy Mr. Miracle, as I always say. I enjoy Division. But I really want to like Adam Strange right now, and I really don't.
We lost Michael.
And I really don't. So I'm going to obviously read it. I love Watchmen. We'll see. I don't know. I don't have many thoughts there.
DC Teen Heroes is safe again. Oh, man. Thanos is true. It's true. It's very true. I feel like the Watchmen was a really good. Everything okay, Kat?
Yeah, I was gonna comment and reading it, but no, I'm fine.
Okay.
Why?
Watchmen was a good book. It should have been left in the past. The fact that they're still bringing Rorschach in. I mean, we had Dr. Manhattan, a version of Dr. Manhattan in Dark Knight's Death Metal. We'll talk about that. And again, we got through Doomsday Clock. I think everybody should be back in their own universe now.
Yeah, we'll see how the whole Watchmen stuff ends up working out, because I feel like, well, like you said, Metal, we'll get more information about that. But yeah, I don't know. I'm so torn on it. We almost have 40 viewers, 39 right now. Thank you. Let's see. Paul asks, speaking of Terry Moore, is Strangers in Paradise worth buying? I've never read one of the books. Yeah, definitely worth buying. So good. If Brant could read it, and it's really like something that you wouldn't think is up his alley, I think a lot of people will enjoy it. And it's a classic. It's going to have a movie, I think. It's either a movie or a show. I think it's a movie. So go pick it up. It's good stuff. It's a good, like, full beginning, middle, and end type story where I feel like we don't get a lot of that in comics. So it's nice to have that. And obviously the creator loves the characters, so we get a lot of it after. And hi, Mike Manhattan. All right. Let's get into the next thing, which is something Brant wanted to discuss and me, but Brant's not here. So NBC opens a publishing company with Grant Morrison.
You had me until you said Grant Morrison. You had me until you said Grant Morrison.
The thing that's interesting about this is usually it's always the reverse. You know, you have broadcasters wanting, or broadcast television wanting comics. It's kind of interesting.
It's intriguing. It's
right?
very intriguing. I'm very interested in seeing where this goes for sure.
I mean, I'm sure it's because they want to make, their own TV shows, their own movies because of it. But I just think it's so interesting that they're starting to get into comics and what this means. And
I mean, Radical, I love their comic books, and they started as a comic company, and then they made not really good, but they made 2 movies, one with The Rock, which was Hercules, and I forgot what the other one was, but that had I think Keanu Reeves in it, if I'm not mistaken. I forgot what the movie was. I forgot what the movie was called, but Radical made some awesome books. I'm sure that this is definitely going to be intriguing, just because they have Grant Morrison doing one book. And again, I think Grant Morrison shines when he's outside of the big 2. I mean, Claws was one of his greatest. I mean, he did a really good run with Justice League of America way back in the 90s. So, I mean, he has some good work. He has some good writing, good ideas. So I'm intrigued. I'm very intrigued, and hopefully we'll get to reach out to them, and we will see if we can talk with them.
Do something. Yeah, that'd be fun. All right, let's get into the next thing. This is just something I wanted to discuss. American Vampires returning in October, with them being in the 70s, and this is the last chapter of American Vampire. I am a huge fan of this series. It's probably one of my favorite comic series of all time. So very, very excited about the return, and I'll definitely be reading it. All right, moving on to, I guess, clearing the air on this. So Batman gets a new costume in issue 100, and people went batshit over this. Literally,
they went bat crazy. I love it. Yeah, they went bat crazy.
They did, and it was announced by James Tynion, who's the writer, that this is just a costume as a dream sequence. It's not his new costume. So, guys, let's calm down. It's not a new costume. It's just a cover, which I figured
was hilarious. It was Batman, Iron Man. I mean, I was like, look, you got to understand, this is Batman. How many costumes has he gone through? How many? I mean, have you not seen Batman Beyond? The row of bat suits from the classic days all the way to present? He has hundreds of suits. You think he's going to stay in any suit? Even if that was going to be part of an ongoing suit, right? How long? 2 years, 3 years maybe, and then you're going to get the classic suit back, because that's what they do. They bring like the new 52 Batman suit, and then not even 5 years later, we're back to the classic Batman suit. I wouldn't be surprised if they brought I mean, it's a dream sequence now. We know it's not true. But again, even if it wasn't, it's not permanent. This is Batman. If it was Superman, that's a little different, because his suit very rarely changed at all throughout all of the years. But Batman, his suits evolved for years.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's not even a real suit. Well, at least it's not in continuity. We have a question about, do any of you know about Superboy Prime is back in Shazam? Shazam's getting canceled, so I don't think those things are going to be tied up. I think it was referenced. They thought they'll have more time. I don't think they're going to be doing anything with it.
And Tevia, practice what you preach, my friend. Practice what you preach. I'm going to call you out on this show right now. Practice what you preach, because, man. Okay, moving on.
All right, moving on to the next thing. We have 2 more stories, and then we'll talk about our big topic of the show. And that is first is The Walking Dead is going to be re-released in color. I believe
the whole series or just issue 1?
Yeah, the whole series.
I am getting it from issue 1 to have the full series this time. I didn't do it the first time around. I will do it this time.
So I think they're releasing the first issue. I forget which month, but then after that, they're going to be releasing 2 issues every month. So you're going to get 2.
So that's fair. So figure you have about 200 plus issues. So no, not 200 plus, 180. What issue did he end on? I'm trying to remember.
108. It's something. Michael, do you remember which issue it was for Walking Dead?
No, I don't remember.
Either way, even doubling up, you're talking about a good 4-5 years of Walking Dead re-releases. That's really good. I mean, it's double
on their money too.
Really good. Oh, I'm buying it. Yeah. I'm getting it in color. Hell yeah! I'll stop my trade collection now and just start getting the single issues in color.
42 viewers. Thank you guys. That's awesome.
I love you all so much.
Yeah. Michael, you are the big Walking Dead fan. Are you going to be getting all these in color? Are you going to be reviewing them?
I mean, I don't know if I'm gonna be getting them all in color, but it's just pretty interesting to know that they're gonna
Thank you,
be.
Brian.
You
193.
know, oh, that was the last issue. But yeah, so I mean, I don't know. I'm actually thinking about it because the color is actually really awesome to have in The Walking Dead, just to bring out what was in the comic book and intended as color.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, let's go into our big topic of this week, which is we had a couple canceled DC titles, and that is Justice League Odyssey, Batman the Outsiders, and then Batgirl.
I have something to say about that one.
Yeah, Batgirl. Yeah, the other two I don't read, so it's just like whatever.
Well, they're gonna end. Those were always stories that I felt had a. I mean, Outsiders. I'm surprised lasted as long as it did.
I'm surprised that book exists.
I know, right? And Odyssey, I felt like was finite as well. Batgirl, I think, and I could be wrong. Either she's going to be put in another Bat book temporarily, or when a new team comes on, they're going to rebrand it. They're going to call it like something Batgirl, or maybe it'll just be Batgirl Volume.
I think it just will be Batgirl, and they're just trying to reboot it. But this is sad because I'm trying to change our color in our doc. I'll change it after.
194 times $4. No thanks. But Davis, it's 2 comics a month, so you're not paying it all at once. So, and also if you do your orders through previews, you get a discount. Honestly, if you throw a lump sum in for like the whole series, sure, but 2 issues a month at a discount, figure you're paying maybe $3. That's $6 a month for however long for colored issues of The Walking Dead. If you're a fan, you're going to do it. If you have the black and whites, I don't see why you would buy the colored, honestly. I don't have all the black and whites, especially the very beginning of the series. So for me, this is worth it. But for people who have the black and whites or the omnibuses, see, I have the trades, but a lot of them were gifted to me anyway. So for me, it's worth the money, in my opinion, at least.
And then going back to the Batgirl thing, I feel there's so many books being canceled. And, you had Green Arrow, you had Batwoman. This is from a while ago. Remember when Green Arrow was supposed to come back? We never got anything from that. And now Batgirl, like what books are left? And I mean, already on the side of like what female books are left at DC Comics. That's A. But then B, like just in general, I feel like more is being canceled than being added to the roster.
I feel like DC is upside down right now. I mean, Marvel's poking some good fun. I don't know if you talked about the variant covers last week, but there are variant covers that say on sale on Wednesday. Yeah. So people are poking fun at them for coming out on Tuesday. People are upset at them for leaving previews. And believe me, this is why I'm not really ordering from Midtown, because they're already getting a bit of a swollen head being distributors for DC Comics. But beside the point, they've left previews. They're doing digital only stuff. They don't know. They were going to do 5G. Then they weren't going to do 5G. Now they're not sure about doing 5G. They kicked Dan Didio out. Look at what's going on with DC Comics right now. I think somebody needs to sit everyone down. And I feel like they're all over the place and nowhere. They're everywhere and nowhere. Something needs to be done with DC. And I don't mean the comics. I mean the company needs to really sit down and do some focusing, do some meetings.
I hope this is a sign that we're getting new books or something new. But then you get all these digital books that, again, don't really match up to. Yeah, matter. It's just like, I don't really know what I'm being sold anymore. And yeah, Batgirl is going to be hard. Like, I love Batgirl no matter what I pick up. Supergirl got canceled. I just think about the list of things getting canceled. But yeah,
Supergirl's not coming into physical. That's the one series I'm very upset because I have 1 through and I'm missing 2 issues now because of it.
We'll see what ends up happening. But yeah, we're not getting a lot of books right now. And Barbara Gordon, man. Like, that's Barbara Gordon.
I think give it a couple more months, maybe this time next year. And I think DC needs to, they'll have that meeting. They'll be back with previews. We'll have more books. They'll start straightening some stuff out. I just feel like we're in bumps in the road. DC got rid of their leader. They didn't lose him. They fired him. And now DC doesn't know where they're going next. Metal was supposed to lead into the new reboot because Metal's its own little mini crisis. We'll talk about it, I'm sure. And now it's like, well, that might not be happening. So they've got to straighten out their comics. They've got to straighten out their company. They've got to realize that distributing the way they're doing is chaotic. Not bad, not good, chaotic. And I don't know. Somebody in DC really needs to sit down and straighten things out. Maybe Kat should be running this company.
Hey,
Get Brant over there. Get Brant and Kat over there. You know, Dan Didio was fired. 47 viewers. I love you guys. Thank you all so much for being here. This is amazing. I'm really happy that 47 of you are sitting here with us, listening and talking comics. The comments have been flourishing like crazy, other than the few random things that Tevye is spouting for the millionth time. Still, thank you. 48. We are this close to 50 viewers.
Invite some friends.
You guys are awesome. And there's one of my favorite viewers, Black Knight. He's always on my live shows.
Yeah,
what's up, man?
love the Black Knight.
I'm waving at everybody. Everybody who's coming in and saying hi, you're welcome to say hi. I'll spotlight you. I'll wave to you like I've been doing to everybody. You guys are great. And like I said, keep them coming. Keep the stuff coming in.
Yeah, well, that is all the news that we have to talk about this week. We are gonna.
I am curious with one thing though, and anyone in the comments is welcome to say it. What we're talking about now, I'd love to hear, other than Tevye, who I know what he's going to say. I'd love to hear y'all's solution. What do you think that DC should do to fix themselves up? What do you think DC needs to do? Do you think that they should restart their brand, like restart everything again? But I think not action or what?
51 viewers.
51 viewers. You guys are insane. Thank you so much. This is one of our highest viewers.
It is. I think it is. Yeah.
That is insane. Thank you all so much for being here. You guys are insane. But what do you think DC should do to fix things up? Should they go back to previews to start things off? Should they be fixing up their books? Should Brian Michael Bendis be writing only 3 or 4 books instead of 10 to 15 books? I mean, I'd love to know what everyone thinks right now, because right now everybody's talking Marvel. Everybody's talking Empire and X-Men. And I don't feel like a lot of people are talking DC anymore, really.
We have the death metal stuff, and we first of all want to welcome Willie Survive. This is the first time they're watching, so thank you very much. We got Brian from near Baltimore. Baltimore is a great city. But yeah, going back to what you're saying, it's tough because I do think there's some books that, because you have Batman. I think that's the biggest one going on right now. But also, like right now for Marvel, a lot of my favorite books aren't going on right now, so it's a little harder to speak on. So like I love my Runaways, I love my Miss Marvel, I love my Spider-Gwen. A lot of those have stopped. So right now I'm just like living in the indies. I think that's the thing that's really been letting me go by. But we'll see what ends up happening. And I hope we get some exciting announcement from DC. I mean,
Tom Taylor's killing it with
Deceased. Yeah, Deceased has been great
too. So I mean, there are.
I like this volume better than the last one.
Notice us. We notice you, senpai. We notice you. We notice you.
I don't know if we're the senpai. I don't know if we would be included in that, but thank you for thinking we are.
Thank you for thinking we're senpai.
Let's go to Michael. You read a few DC books. Do you have any thoughts on this? I know you miss your Green Arrow.
Yeah, like, like that. There are just lots of DC books that I wish would return. Like Green Arrow, like you said. Like it's been very long since Green Arrow has a story. Like there was
since that announcement too that they were gonna have a new book, and they just never came out with it.
Yeah, because that last issue of the last volume, it looked promising that there was going to be a continuation issue, but I don't know. Like there are just some DC books that I used to read that they should bring back again, but it's maybe someday they will.
Living in the Indies, I definitely understand. Hey, Willie, there's no problem living in the Indies, man. I read a lot of independents now. A lot.
54 viewers, guys. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Tell more friends. Have them come by. Don't forget to subscribe to Comic Frontline and Comic Book Corner 2.0. We do this every Tuesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern. And we're about to go into our comic discussion now. That was just news. Can you imagine when we talk about the books that come out this week? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're going to have some good talk. And actually, speaking of, we're going to go into the Under the Radar books. These are the books that, Michael will describe it.
Yes, so Under the Radar time. This is where we talk about whether it's books we read or books that we don't read, but we like to discuss about them of what should be discussed because it felt like to be an awesome issue to us. So instead of me starting off, you know what? I'm going to let Chris start off. Your Under the Radar book.
My book has to go to AWA's Year Zero, issue number 3. If you are not reading Year Zero, this is amazing. This is a fun story, and it's broken up into several people that are going through this epidemic at the same time. You've got a zombie outbreak. You've got a story taking place in China. You have a story with one man whose father was chased by. We get little backstories for each character. You've got another group of women, and I forgot what Arabic state. Again, go figure. I didn't remember the state again. But you got them. You got BJ, who is locked up. He's locking himself away in a bunker, and he finds somebody finally. It's this woman, and they have a back and forth conversation. And he's kind of like, he's one of us. He's like a comic nerd. He got all like that superhero kind of like G.I. Joe mindset kind of thing. Uh-oh. I said it. So G.I. Joe. I had to do it once. Sorry, everybody. But I love it. There's a lot of really fun development. I think AWA is just knocking this book out of the park. This and The Resistance are 2 books that are fighting for my number one place, for my number one favorite place from AWA.
All right, Michael, who's next?
All right. And that's all you have? Yes, Kat.
All right, mine is a book that Michael reads, and that is Teen Titans. I'm trying to remember what happened in this issue, but I did like this issue. I gotta look what happened.
Well, we had Damian. Damian went on his own mission with KG Beast.
Right.
Yeah, John show up for a bit at the beginning.
I enjoyed seeing the team without Damian. I thought was very interesting. And then with the KGB stuff and seeing how far Damian will go. And the thing that didn't quite connect, I understood that he was doing it because of Nightwing and because of, Nightwing losing his memory, which won't matter in October. But that's why he's like, I need to hurt this person. I can't be like Batman. I need to kill. And then the team who's kind of dealt with stuff like this and has dealt with their own pain says, Damian, you shouldn't do this. And I thought that was really interesting. I like the new creative team a lot. But yeah, overall, I think the motives could have been a little stronger, but I think this is a great book and I love the direction it's going in.
I agree.
The book was really, they're like doing the detective work of Brother Blood, and then they all are thinking that Damian did it because like he's an assassin and all that. So they're actually thinking that, he was the one that did. And then we see Batman.
He's making people believe he's done it too. I don't think he did, but he's making people believe it.
I mean, we the readers know that, but they think, of course he probably did it, but they might. I mean, I think they should just go really into it more just to see what happens. But that's just me. But yeah, I felt this to be a great issue also for this week as well. Okay, so my Under the Radar book that I have for this week is Sonic the Hedgehog Annual 2020. And they come out with this every year, the annuals. Like the annual just talks about the stories, like different stories that relates to the Zombots. Like you have Big the Cat's story about how he's looking for Froggy, and then when he finds Froggy, the Zombots try to attack them, and then they get infected with the Zombot. And then you get Night the Owl, who does like a radio broadcast, and he hears thousands of people calling him saying about how there's a Zombot metal thing apocalypse that's going on. And I like how Don and him work together to stay out of the apocalypse and just stay inside the studio so that way they don't get infected. And we also get Metal Sonic's story. It's just a lot of stories that deal with the Zombots. And it was a really excellent read to see how the people on the sidelines are being affected by the Zombot. And not only that, how they got infected by it, which actually brings out more of a detail and an understanding of, oh, that's how this person got infected, and so on and so forth. So this issue was really amazing and definitely a classic read. Every time Sonic the Hedgehog book comes out, I really enjoy it. And I guess that's all for Under the Radar. So now we're going to go into the big books and top 5, which I have this week, a top 5.
Good to hear.
So we're going to go into the big books, and we're actually going to start with DC Comics Death Metal issue number 2. Well, I'll
I
tell
didn't
you,
read
Wonder
it.
Woman.
You read this one. I
I'll tell you,
dropped this
Wonder
book,
Woman's
actually.
getting the spotlight here, and you could see why. See, again, now Death Metal was written before Didio was released, and you could see why Wonder Woman was going to get the main spotlight with 5G, that she was going to be the first superhero to make an appearance, because she's definitely spotlighted in this series so far. So you have Batman, who's marking Justice Society members who had died. So yes, the Justice Society's back, and we get to see Barry, Wally, and Jay have a reuniting moment. I love how Wally goes to Jay and he's like, "Do you remember me?" He's like, "Of course I can never, I'll never forget you." And I thought that was really nice. And I just, Death Metal just looks like it's going to have Wonder Woman spotlighted a lot, unless it's just these first 2 issues. I wasn't as excited with this issue as I was with the first one. I did like the Batman Who Laughs brain getting transplanted into Dr. Manhattan, and he becomes something more or something different. So I don't know if the Batman Who Laughs is going to survive after this event. If he does, I don't know if he'll be stuck in the dark universe or multiverse, but it was okay. I still am enjoying it. I'm still going to keep reading it. I didn't get as much out of this second issue as I did with the first. And nobody else read it. So we're going to move on to Empire issue number 1. Now that I know everybody here probably read, right?
Everyone except Michael.
And yes,
But I
Batmobile Beast. That was funny. That was funny. The Batmobile Beast.
I did read Empire, and I will say, spoiling my chopping block, I will not be reading the next issue.
Really?
Yeah, I thought the
fence.
Fantastic Four stuff was cool. Like, that was good, and I was like, I enjoyed that, but I really could care less about the Avengers, and I could see where it's going, and it's just like every other Marvel event, I'm like, I really don't need to know what happens next.
See, I'm on the fence because I didn't see the ending coming, where I thought it was going to be, the whole series was going to be about them fighting the Kree Skrull army, and then the twist of fate. And then I remembered way back with the Avengers, where they planted the seeds on this planet, and it was meant to be a problem for Earth in the future. And then I started to remember where the twist happened, where this group of people that they're protecting, I keep forgetting their name, they protect them from the Kree Skrull, and then they turn around and go, good, because now we're going to eliminate all life and all the world and all the planets and all the galaxies. It's like, whoa, so they were protecting the wrong side. They were on the wrong side of it. So I don't know. I'll come back for issue 2, but I agree this is definitely going to be an event where I'll probably only be reading the main event. But if it's every single week, and there's a lot of dialogue in this book.
Almost every week. It's like every 2 weeks, I think, because I know issue 2 is coming out like next week.
In 2 weeks. It's not coming out tomorrow. So I'll see. Again, I'm going to read issue 2, but I agree with you, Kat. If it goes into the predictable, oh, okay, this is where we're going to go. I didn't see the ending coming. So I'm going to see where the next issue goes. But yes, as I was saying at the beginning of the show, so many events. Yeah, I'll probably end up letting this book go then. So next up we got our number 5. So I am going to start with my number 5. My number 5 this week was Red Mother issue number 6. It was amazing. Huh?
Great book.
It was amazing. And the ending, that last page, and I know it made it into our top 5 panels because I'm sure, I think, Kat, you put it in your top 5 panels.
Well, I was the only one who did top 5.
Yes. It's summer. Everybody's busy. So Kat's been holding up with the top 5 for all of us. That was crazy. I love how everything life is great. Everything's going good. She stopped being chased by that red demon thing. Everything's going fine. She's got her new job. She's solving this puzzle. And they just broke the next seal, and there's like 7 more seals to go. And then we find out that all of her friends and coworkers are actually working with the Red Mother secretly in that.
Or in her head. Like, I think there's so many cool questions there. I love this book because I think the pacing is so interesting. It's not like any other book where it's slow, but doesn't feel like nothing's happening. It feels realistic and raw, and I love this book. The artwork's really good. It's just the way you do horror, for sure.
Stop clicking things.
I
literally clicked like 20 things to get my chat back to the way it was.
Yeah, I understand your pain on that one. It's always fun, StreamYard. But yeah, no, I love that ending. I think that's so interesting. And there's just like these little moments I really enjoy. I liked her flirting with the guy in the bar. I like the little whiskey moment with her and her boss. It's a good book. If you haven't been reading it, go check it out.
Definitely. So, Kat, what was your number 5?
My number 5 was the Immortal Hulk issue 35.
That was another good book.
Yeah, which I got on sale Wednesday as we were speaking about it. But yeah, this was a good book because we had a little bit of less darker artwork because we're seeing a sunnier side of the Hulk, which is kind of crazy. But we're still seeing some darker emotional moments, especially between him and Betty. Love that moment where Betty's like,
Well,
"I
that
am this."
was Joe Chill more than it was Bruce.
Because Bruce came out for that one.
Did he come out?
Yeah,
I thought it was still Joe
segment.
Chill. Okay.
Joe started out in that scene, and then he came out and was like, "Oh, I want to talk to my wife," and she's like, "Nah," and she flies off. But I think Joe was for the rest of the issue. Yeah, it's always confusing with how many personalities Hulk has. But then you see Hulk breaking towards the end, and then that cliffhanger, we get to see that he combusts in the sun once again because of the leader. So I really like that cliffhanger. But it's a great, good book if you haven't been reading Hulk. It's good stuff.
I totally agree. And Mike, what's your number 5?
Number 5 for me this week was Amazing Spider-Man, issue number 44. This was a really interesting book. It talked about Overdrive, who was telling, Spider-Man his dreams and stuff about, when he was in this mob gang and how this creature that was there kept following them, including himself, like anywhere, no matter where he went, he just like followed him and stuff like that. More was explained in the book. But what really caught my eyes when Peter woke up from his dream and he called Mary Jane and said that he is not sure if he's okay. And when he left a long emotional message to her and everything, Kindred actually comes back into the story. And he was like killing Peter from the inside. And all this that was going on was basically a dream. And this was hard stuff I felt that was pushed on Peter, and it's to be continued. Really good issue, but man, Peter got it rough in this one.
Yeah, I like the MJ and Peter stuff. I thought that was really good. I love the whole you're the reason I don't wear a mask, or you're the reason that I'm Peter.
Love the ring. I love the ring.
Yeah, the ring was good. But I will say, like, nothing. There's a lot of nothingness that happens here too. It's kind of a slow issue, and that's something that's kind of frustrated me about Amazing Spider-Man is that because we don't know who Kindred is and they keep holding back, I just feel like there's not a lot of movement. So in that regard, I felt like it's a little bit of a filler, which was kind of sad to see. Even though they're introducing Sin Eater, which I'm sure we'll get more in the prelude. I did like the ending with Madam Web. I thought that was really cool.
We haven't seen her in a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's definitely pieces I enjoyed of this issue, but it didn't quite make my top 5 this week.
All right. And with that, we're going to go into the next set of books, which actually there's only one, and that is Snake Eyes Dead Game, issue number 1. Loved it.
It's all you, Chris.
I love it. I'll tell you, I was surprised. Rob Liefeld did an amazing job, except for that puppy. That poor wolf. I've never seen such a scrunched face before. I wish I had a picture to show everybody. Yeah, I love this issue. There was a lot of disposition, but at the same time, if you don't know who Snake Eyes is, this book will explain it to you in detail.
I don't know who Snake Eyes is, but I don't think I'll be reading the book to find out.
You're gonna miss out. I mean, the cool thing is you actually have Roadblock in the. Oh well, that's Scarlet. So you got Scarlet in the series.
He does look like a roadblock.
Well, here's Roadblock. You got Roadblock, who's in the series. Yes, by the way, Hasbro released their wave of G.I. Joe figures. I'm really happy. I'm missing 2. They're coming in the mail still because apparently Hasbro Pulse releases 1 at a time. So I'm down for this. I'm down for this. I'm guessing it's a mini series because he always says minis. Yeah, we get a reveal of a new enemy, and it's going to be up to Snake Eyes to basically defeat him. So I'm looking forward to seeing where this arc goes. But definitely, Rob Liefeld definitely got better in his art, and maybe there were moments in his art that
from what I saw. I didn't read the book, but I got to see a glimpse of it.
It was good.
And he does have feet.
He has feet. Yeah, yes, exactly. It was really good. I enjoyed it. I'm coming back for the next issue for sure. I don't think Rob. I think Rob Liefeld made the floor plan, like made the layout for the series, and then somebody else came in and did the writing.
Someone else dialogued it.
Mhm.
I don't know who though. I don't.
But there really
remember.
wasn't that much. I mean, there was talking, but there wasn't a lot of talking. A lot of it was the monologue, which he wrote. So I mean,
Chad Bowers, I think, did the dialogue for this.
there you go. But it was still really good. I enjoyed it. If you're a G.I. Joe fan, it's definitely something you should pick up. And now we will go into our number 4s. And ironically, Snake Eyes Dead Game issue number 1 was my number 4. So we're going to get that out of the way. And now we're going to go this time to Michael first. What was your number 4?
Number 4 was Conan Battle of the Serpent Crown issue number 3. What really made this issue though is not only was the whatchamacallit, like the ring thing that he had was teleporting them, like it's first of all teleported them to Wakanda because Black Panther actually appeared in this issue, and the reason why they end up in Wakanda is because Conan's looking for the scepter, and he knows where he has to go for that. But then we have Champion who is working with Mephisto, and then he's telling him the location of where the scepter is because, you know, Mephisto, he wants to, you know, say, oh, we'll rule the world together and all that and blah, 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 and all that other stuff. But I do like how when Conan and Black Panther encountered, their fight was a huge extreme fight, but then Champion, of course, when he comes in, takes the scepter, you know that when people fight, they always team up with each other. So after a long explanation, Conan and Black Panther team up. But now that the scepter has been brought to Mephisto, he tells Champions that they can seize the Serpent Crown from Atlantis. And that's an old boy cliffhanger to be continued. So this was a pretty good and intense issue. And Wakanda. That's all I could say.
Yep. So, Kat, what was your number 4?
Mine was Teen Titans. We already talked about it.
Nice indeed. So moving on now to Nightwing 72. If you didn't read the preview such as I did, which was dumb, this was a very good issue. This was Dick getting his memories back, tricking Barbara because she was brought in by Rick's girlfriend who was worried about him. And he's like, yeah, remember everything. Nightwing, yeah, woo, and life and everything's great. And he's acting weird. And then Punchline shows up. And then Dick inevitably does the turn on Barbara. And that's where the cliffhanger is. Oh, boy. I know, Kat, you didn't read it this week, did you?
No, but I saw the Barbara parts.
It was good. I thought it was a really good, solid Nightwing issue. I'm really interested in seeing where... Obviously, Joker War is going to fix a lot of things or undo a lot of the damages that were done to the Bat family. So I'm really interested in seeing what happens, except for poor Batgirl, who's getting canceled, but probably will be rebooted. So
I can only hope. And next issue, Batgirl looks really good.
I'm reading it for sure. Yes, definitely. I'm going to skip over my other books since I read both. Okay. Let's talk about Free Comic Book Day X-Men, which, Kat, I know you read. I did not.
Yeah, so the second half is what we talked about in the news. So I don't even need to discuss that. And it was actually the part I enjoyed the most. The other half is like these tarot cards of what's going to happen in X-Sword. And it was just very exposition and not much happening there. So it's ironic that the Free Comic Book Day X-Men, the least interesting thing was the X-Men. And the most interesting thing was the teaser I didn't expect to even be in this book. But it's free. Get it if you can. It gives you some teasers. It's just like any other Free Comic Book Day book. But yeah, I was surprised by the Iron Man one and enjoyed that.
There you go. And now TMNT number 106. I loved it. I'm really happy TMNT's, continuing. I was worried with 105 and everything. We had Sophie Campbell who was saying, I was told to stop. This is back at the beginning of the coronavirus. So I'm glad she didn't stop. And the art is done really well. It's by an artist who did TMNT Universe. He did TMNT Universe issue number 25. He did the Leo story in it. Really great art. So kids are going missing. And I love how this little girl is telling this story. And it sounds like a campfire story. Yeah, it's the Slithery. The Slithery, I think it's called. I don't remember for sure. But he takes the kids away, locks them away, and then he eats them. Or that's the rumors. And all the kids are making fun of her for it. And then we find out towards the end of the issue that it might actually possibly be true. But I don't think it's what the little girl's saying. I think that this mutant is either working with Old Hob or Baxter Stockman, or maybe both of them together. I don't know, but I'm very interested in seeing where this arc goes for sure. Really like it. My one little note for the artist is they didn't draw the headbands on the turtles. So at times you didn't know which turtle was talking because they're wearing regular clothes, no headbands, no acknowledgement with names. So it's like, so is that Donatello or is that Donatello? Is that Michelangelo? The only one that actually wore his colors was Raphael. And I think Leo wore his colors. That's it. So the rest of the turtles was like a crapshoot. You didn't know who you were reading, who was talking. So what's up, Justin? So I don't know. But other than that, it was fine. I really loved it. It was a great issue for sure. And I am looking forward to Last Ronin as well, SM. So that was it for this. So we're going into our number 3s. And my number 3 was my Under the Radar, Year 0, issue number 3. So we're going to move to Kat this time.
Mine is the Free Comic Book Day Ranger Slayer. I know no one's read it here, but I
didn't get a chance because it's sold out.
Did it? Oh man, it's worth it because
I got the regular issue, so I'll get in the week-ish.
Yeah, well, it comes out tomorrow, so I guess when you get
I'm sorry, tomorrow. So yeah, get my books.
Yeah, I was surprised by this. So the first story is a reprint of what happened in Go-Go, and honestly, it was a good refresher because it's been a while since I've read it. I'm like, oh yeah, like the little moments of how Kimberly became who she is, and then the middle is a new story. And it's about how Kimberly rips Trini apart, pretty much rips her a new one, as this is like her first mission as Ranger Slayer. And then that connects to the one-page preview of this tomorrow's issue of Ranger Slayer, of her going back after all the destruction she's made and after Shattered Grid. And I just thought it was really good. Like, it's like a really good way to do a reprint, even though not the whole thing was a reprint. I was really surprised by it. So, I mean, I shouldn't be because it's Ryan Parrott and it's Power Rangers and they've been doing a great job. But this is how you do a reprint and make it fresh and free. And it was really good.
Free. And don't forget the word free.
And free.
So, Michael, what was your number 3?
Teen Titans issue number 43. We already talked about it.
Cool.
All right. And we're going to continue on. Now, I didn't read this, so Strange Adventures number 3. Who read that?
Yeah, I did. And Brant did, but he's not here. But Strange Adventures, we were kind of talking about it a little bit with the Tom King news. I want to love this book, and I don't quite like it too much. And not that I don't. I think it's a good book. I think retrospect.
I'm sorry, Kat. You could answer this. This is for you.
Mm-hmm.
What are you talking
about? Ranger Slayer
book?
Yeah, so tomorrow there's a Ranger Slayer one-shot that connects to everything that happened in Shattered Grid and Go-Go. It's the same creative team as the original creative team of Go-Go Power Rangers. I did an interview. Go check it out on Newsarama / Gamer Radar. Go check that out. And last week it was a Free Comic Book Day. So it's a free book where you get kind of like a one-on-one on who Ranger Slayer is.
And then she's also leading into the Draken mini, right?
Yep.
Draken 3-part mini.
3 issues. She's going to be in that too, but not written by Ryan. It's going to be a different writer. So that should be interesting.
All right. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. Strange Adventures. So what's interesting is I like the idea of, how media presents people and if they could be different than how they present. I always love that. But I don't think it digs deep enough into it. There's 2 timelines going on, and I don't think it does it any favors. I know the juxtaposition is supposed to be the poetic aspect of the book, but it doesn't work for me, and especially because I just don't know much about Adam Strange, and I don't know much about his wife, and his wife is kind of all over the map, and I just feel like a lot of times Tom King writes the same thing over and over again. It's just like middle-aged white man doing stuff and depressed, and that's kind of always the story. And then
wasn't that usually what we got with Mr. Miracle?
Every book, Batman, Mr. Miracle, and this now, and I just feel like it's just so similar to what he's written. And I'm not, every writer has their favorite thing to write. I'm not saying that they shouldn't, but I want to see a little bit of a difference. And even with the female characters, I feel like they're strong, but what proves that they're strong? Like Catwoman, what proved that she was strong in Batman? And same thing for Adam Strange's wife here. She's like, oh, she holds a gun and she has an attitude, but what makes her a strong character?
Personally, I'm the unpopular majority that liked Mr. Miracles.
I love Mr. Miracle. I really enjoy it. And I thought Barda was one of the female characters and Virginia from Vision, where he really brought personality to those women and they weren't just supporting characters. But these Batman and this right now, they just feel like crutches.
I agree. I totally 100% agree with you. That's why I didn't bother jumping into it.
I hope it gets better because the artwork's really good.
All right. And then I know Kat and I both read Mighty Morphin Power Rangers 51. Lord Draken returns with a new hairstyle.
A new hairstyle, a new scar, a new everything.
Tattoos. He's talking to Saba's dead head. I mean, I think he's gone a little cuckoo, but I'm just saying he's gone a little cuckoo, guys. But I loved it. I really do. And he's running from these Dark Rangers. But the question is it the Dark Rangers that Lord Zed made, or are there other Dark Rangers from his universe that are going to be making an appearance? I feel like we're not going to get an answer until after his mini. That's my opinion. We're not going to get that answer.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see what they end up doing with Lord Draken. I like this issue because it was very back to basics. It was very all right. This is what they're doing after these big events, and then crawling in the shadows is Zed and Rita. So. And then, of course, Lord Draken, he's going to be causing some trouble in his cell. But I enjoyed it.
He's lost it. Draken is gone.
He has lost it. But it was a pretty good issue.
I loved it. I thought it was really good. People should be reading Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. And then Amazing Spider-Man 44, we already talked about that because that was one of Mike's books. But yes. I agree, it was a really good book. It was really, really good. A dream within a dream. Poor Peter. Will we see the marriage come back? And will Mephisto be a part of that? They're teasing it hardcore, but just like Dan Didio, Joe Quesada is no longer head at Marvel. So, I mean, his little roadblocks are also now lifted. So, maybe. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. So, before we get into our... now we're doing our number twos. And my number two was Mighty Morphin Power Rangers 51. Damn, I'm just getting caught up in all of this discussion today. So that was mine. Kat, what was your number two?
Mine was Red Mother, so we already discussed it.
And Mike, your number two?
Family Tree, issue number 7. So in this, we get about Josh's past of it talks about how he was angry and feared about what happened to his sister. This was after she turned into a tree and everything. And then what?
I said a tree. Yeah, I was going for what you said.
Yeah, tree.
The craziness that she is a tree.
Yeah, and then it shows Meg's point of view of I think it was the afterlife, after she turned into a tree or stuff like that. And the mother is just really upset about this and broken up that this happened. And even the doctor was wondering, and then she said, there's nothing you can do. That was it. And then we got the gang that followed, that guy's name. It escapes me. I don't remember what his name was. But yeah, they, of course, were trying to follow him because they want to destroy the tree because we know about their group. There was one scene, though, that really touched me. The one scene where Meg found a way to talk to her mother, by voice and everything. And, how she's saying, it's all going to be okay. And what happens now as the tree grows is going to be beautiful. That hit me hard emotionally, just reading that statement. And it's to be continued. God,
this trumps what Mike's talking about. We got Brant on the show. Nobody cares. Everybody look at Brant. Look at that pretty face. Oh, Mike, Brant is the real American. Hold on, real American hero. And I said real American hero. And with that being said, yeah, Joe. Hi, Brant. Welcome to the show.
You're such a dork.
Hey, yeah, Joe. We love you, man. I'm glad you made it.
Yeah, I messaged him about the viewers, and he's like, you know what? I gotta jump in.
I know we missed out on all those viewers.
We have 55 viewers. A few people left because they didn't want spoilers. But man, yes, we've had an amazing crowd tonight.
I wanted to pop on for a few minutes because I don't know how often I'm going to be on in the next few weeks. So I just, I had a few minutes, so I thought I'd pop in and say, hey.
Hi, Brant.
Well, we are actually almost wrapping up, which is kind of crazy. But
So since we're almost wrapping up, let's talk about your under the radar 5, 4, 3, and number 2.
I honestly didn't rank my books this week. I didn't have time, and I didn't have excuse me, I can't even talk now. It's been so long, I don't remember how to talk. But no, I don't have an under the radar. I didn't get to finish my books. I read like 12 books this week. But I do have a number 1, I guess, so I can talk about that one. You get.
Okay. Well, wasn't there a book, Kat, that you said you and Brant read that?
I mean, there's a few books, but if he's not so passionate about them. Strange Adventures was one of them that we both read. That
probably would have been my top 5.
It wasn't in mine, but
oh, okay. Well, like I said, I read 12 books, but I like the issue. I like Alana. She's like manipulative. It's kind of an interesting take on the character.
See, I had the complete opposite opinion. I was just like, I feel like they're just trying to write a strong female character without any background. Like she's just there. She's just holding that gun and be like, I'm Alana, his wife. Batman, don't test me. But like, how is she proving herself? Who is she? Like, I know who she is, but like in the context of this story, like, who are you?
Okay. Yeah, I can see your point. I feel like too often in the history of her character, she's been the damsel in distress. So I kind of like seeing her take charge a little bit more, I guess. So
let's hope she has
even
an
if
issue of her
there
own.
is, yeah.
Michael was discussing Family Tree.
Yeah, Michael was finishing Family Tree. We'll go back to
I'm sorry, Michael.
Well, also Brant
I was
want to read that, but
yeah, I was just gonna say amazing issue, but that's it.
Okay, so you got to say it. So with that being said, amazing issue. Spider-Woman issue number 2. Who read Spider-Woman issue 2 this week?
I read it.
Brant, you read it.
Yes.
So you could talk about it this time before everybody else.
Okay. I didn't like this issue as well, honestly.
Not as good as number 1. Agreed.
No, not at all. I don't know that I love the direction of the story, honestly. And the art felt like it took a step down as well for me.
I felt like it was the same there.
Okay. So I don't know that I love that it's like this whole plot behind making her sick and, extracting her genes and all that stuff was just so easily found out. I kicked Michael off apparently, but
he's been having internet issues.
He's connecting and disconnecting all night.
Yeah, that's been me all day until now. But so I don't know how I feel about the story, how fast it's progressing, and how and what there was a whole subplot of somebody giving her the suit that was supposed to be draining, and they
didn't touch on it this issue.
Exactly. So it's just like
it was the coronavirus weight to me. I don't know when they wrote this. I also didn't really get the Jerry thing. Like that was really random. It's like, but your son is also infected. I'm like, whoa. Like I kind of wish I saw that instead of just heard it.
Yeah. So some issues with this issue. Not the best issue of Spider-Woman.
I'm on the fence with it as well as Empire. So as the series progresses, I'll see. With Empire, it'll be a lot sooner.
More of this, like I enjoyed the father thing. I enjoyed it definitely. I still liked it. I just thought issue 1 was a lot better.
Definitely,
I agree.
All right, with that, we're going into speaking number 1s. We're going into our number 1s. Mine this week was TMNT. Already talked about that before. So we'll go to Brant for his magical number 1.
I suppose mine would be Teen Titans. A lot for the stuff that went down between Roundhouse and Robin. I love that. Roundhouse just like decking Robin and saying, you ruined it all. And just, that whole thing, the way it played out. And, just the kind of disintegration of the team and the direction that Robin's going, kind of going back to his roots, his teachings with race and all that. So it's an interesting way to go with it. And then, of course, you're interjecting Batman into the mix now. And, he's going to try to put Damian in line, and we'll see how that goes. So it was a solid issue.
Agreed. Mike, your number 1.
A book I already talked about for Under the Radar. If you guessed right, Sonic the Hedgehog Annual 2020.
Cat, number 1.
Mine was Captain Marvel, issue 17.
It was a good issue.
I had a fun time with this.
Yeah.
I think because, comics are either been so event heavy or we're just not getting any. It was just so nice to have this fun issue about these heroes going to escape room. And I love seeing all the different dynamics of the characters, like Jessica being afraid of water, really everyone being afraid of water. I mean, not that it was the perfect constructed plot, but I could kind of ignore that just because I really just had fun with all the characters. And I missed this for sure. This is just fun. And yeah, it was a good thing to have for heavier times.
Yeah. Just it does good to have those lighthearted stories every once in a while, those one and dones. I love that they were like playing poker and Miss Marvel shows up and it's like, I can't gamble. It's like, oh,
they're
sorry.
Like, so yeah. We're gonna maybe still play, and they're like, no, we can't. Let's go do something she wants. And
yeah,
they did something she wanted.
Right. Yeah.
I loved it. I love this issue. I'm reading it on my own. I'm not reviewing it. This is one of those books where I'm just reading it to enjoy it. And I actually finished reading it today as well. It was a really fun issue. I enjoyed Captain Marvel. I caught up during the coronavirus and actually was able, I think I showed this off before, but I was able to get the first appearance of Star, CGC.
Oh, wow.
And that's actually the Carnageized variant because the Captain Marvel symbol has Carnage symbiote in it. But no, I've been enjoying Captain Marvel. Even the arc that everybody really didn't like, the one right before this where she was, where everybody thought it was Star that changed her. Wow, I really messed my camera up there. But I enjoyed it. I thought it was a fun read. But again, coronavirus makes things that we normally wouldn't enjoy something we might enjoy. So
I also enjoyed it because we had such a dark story, and I think it proves that filler issues can exist, and just done right. And they did this right. Yeah. It's a palate cleanser for before she goes into the Empire stuff. So it was just like perfectly timed. Yes, in the coronavirus, but also storytelling wise, it was perfectly timed.
Yes, right. Definitely. All right, we're going into my main segment, which is the chop block. And I actually have a book I'm chopping this week. I would have chopped it if I was here 2 weeks ago. And that is Justice League. Done. After issue 48, I was done. I didn't even read.
They got a new creative team coming, though.
They got like don't care. Cat, too many hands in the pot. Rob Mendelli did a good job. Not an amazing job, but he brought my interest back to Justice League. And then this filler arc just dropped it down again. I can't keep up with the roller coaster of Justice League. When the series ends and they get a team that's going to stay on the book for more than an arc or two, then we'll talk about Justice League maybe again. I can't keep dealing with the emotional ride of it was great. This arc sucked. This was great arc. This was not a good arc. I just can't. I can't do it. So I let Justice League go for now. I don't like this arc already anyway. So I'm letting it go.
A lot of people have been liking it. I saw one of my coworkers from Newsarama / Games Radar gave it a 1.
I think giving it a 1 is generous. I mean, I would say it was about a 1 as well, but because the artwork's so good, though, that's what upsets me. The art for the book is gorgeous right now. The story is just why?
I have not picked up Justice League for a very long time, and I'm not regretting it.
I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed because we lived so long in Scott Snyder's Year of the Villain, and then we got away from that and got a nice story. Everybody was so happy with that next arc, and then the arc after that we enjoyed, and then the one with the Spectre, which normally I'm not a huge Spectre fan, it was okay, and then we got this one, and it's like, really? This goes back to what I said at the beginning. Oh, Brent, we were talking about DC, how DC was, maybe you could share your thoughts real quick on this, how DC Comics, what DC can do to kind of fix the giant mess that's going on with them as a company, because they're canceling a lot of books, the previews thing, the shipping on Tuesday where Marvel's making variant covers of them now. So many things going on with DC.
I mean, the shipping on Tuesday thing, it's, I don't know if anybody can do anything about that.
It's confusing,
though. Yeah, it is.
Let me say, because as someone who covers a lot of DC books, I'm always like, and especially during coronavirus time, I'm just like, wait, what day is it? I'm like, this comes out tomorrow? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It is confusing, and I don't know what the purpose of that was. Like, what service does that provide? What benefit is that? So, yeah, as far as fixing everything though, I mean, it's like I'm hoping deep down that they have this master plan, that they're like canceling all these things to relaunch with, you know, new creative teams and a new direction. But
and going back to previews in about a month or two when they realize they're insane.
Well, you know, I don't know what's going to happen with Diamond and all that stuff. I'm not going to even try to predict that. But yeah, just from storytelling perspective and just publishing, it's like they're they don't have a lot.
I love how Brand took a pause and laughed.
I know, it's like they don't have a lot. It's like, what, you know, they've got their mainstays, obviously, their Batman, Superman, you know, stuff like that. But all their other characters, it's just like they're going one by one. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how to fix that. So,
all right. So we'll go back to the chop block now. Kat, do you have a chop this week?
Yeah, I talked about it a little bit before, but Empire, again, not bad. It's really not a bad book. It's just I can't invest in it anymore. I can see where it's going. It also doesn't give me enough to say I'm going to follow 7 issues of this. But I will say there's some tie-ins I'll be getting. So I'm going to try out X-Men this week. I'm going to get the Teddy one-shot just because I like that character a lot. But I know I won't be following the ongoing unless someone says, oh, man.
I'm going to read issue 2.
This. Go check it out.
Yeah, I will read issue 2. So I will be the person that either tells you made the right decision, or I'll be the person that says, man, you really should try issue 2.
No.
Yeah, my thing with it is it was okay, but it could have been inside Avengers. No, it could have just been a story inside Avengers.
Absolutely. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, and Fantastic Four. It could have been like a crossover thing.
Yeah. It didn't
I don't
have
need
to be
Fantastic Four because I'm reading that. So.
Yeah. What I mean, I like the way that they did the tie-in for Fantastic Four this week.
I like the single issue. Yeah, that was pretty solid. I liked I like seeing the kids. I like seeing everything because it wasn't involving Empire at all. Yeah, I mean, somewhat it did. It had the kids there, but I like that it was so much more grounded than what they're doing with the event, which is again feels repetitive. Not just because we have seen the event before, but I talked about this I think previously that we're kind of seeing it with X-Men. We're seeing this grander island and people going against them because of politics. So I'm getting that good story with Hickman. I don't really need an event with different species to do more of that.
Yeah.
Mike, you're not chopping anything probably.
No chop.
Brant, are you chopping anything?
No, not this time.
Not chop. So just 2 chops this week. So since Brant's here, he can do our key issues. I can close the drive. I feel relieved now. Brant can take over his section. I don't have to do all the sections. Yay.
All right. That's cool. So this is the part of the show where we talk about what we're looking forward to coming out. And some of these may end up being key issues. You never know. So we've got, let's talk Daredevil number 21. Chris, you're the only one of us that's reading this.
I've been loving Daredevil. I read the entire series during coronavirus. So he's arrested in the last issue. The last issue, he turned himself in because he's wanted for the death of someone. And now I'm really interested in seeing him back in his suit, and I'm really interested in seeing the ramifications of him letting himself get arrested. He knows he's innocent. But I'm wondering if he's purposely getting himself arrested so that he can get intel and find out who the person is that impersonated him.
Yeah, that's possible.
It's a really good story, and he's getting a one more day kind of deal. I hope it's not with Mephisto, but I'm on board because I only liked Daredevil one other time, and that was when Mark Waid wrote him. So the fact that I'm loving this arc more, Daredevil has been awesome. Justin actually was one of the people that recommended it to me. I'm on board all the way.
Sweet. Let's see. We just talked about X-Men and Fantastic Four, so finally the final issue of that crossover series is coming out.
I forgot that we didn't get the last issue of that.
I
did too. The mini-series already.
Yeah.
I'm like, I was saying I don't know how to feel about it because I already didn't really love it. I'm like, I gotta finish it.
I might read it, but I'll probably just read it as like on my own time, not for a review, just to finish the arc.
Because at this point, it's like, well, when in the world does this take place now? Because Franklin's in this whole Empire thing, and he's what's going on?
It just doesn't matter anymore. So I'll probably just read it on the side.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so we already kind of touched on Empire 2 and Lords of Empire Emperor Hulkling. So we'll just combine those. Empire 2, you're giving it another shot, Chris.
Yeah.
I am too. Cat is not. but you are getting the Hulkling one shot, so that's cool.
I am. I might regret it.
See, now
but-
that's where I cut off. The event itself got me interested in reading the event. I'm not reading any tie-ins or any miniseries.
God, man.
Unless it's in a book that I'm reading already. Like, I don't know what books are tying into it, but if it's a book I'm reading, then it'll happen. But if not, then I'm not.
Spider-Man, I think. Maybe they can. I don't know. Some may have been canceled too. So I don't know.
I don't know. I'm just taking. Listen, when it comes to Marvel at this point and DC, I'm taking it as a day-to-day, a week-to-week basis at this point, man. It's just too crazy.
All right, so we got Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Ranger Slayer issue number 1.
So excited.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a try.
Oh,
You're gonna give it a try?
glad.
Nice. That's cool.
It should be new reader friendly overall. If you have any questions, Michael, I'm here. But I'm stoked. I love this.
Maybe I'll give it a try too then.
You should.
Maybe. We'll see.
You're not.
It's
He's
more
not
we'll
giving
see.
it a chance. No, he's not. He's lying. Look at his face.
I am not lying. Look, I love the Tmnt Power Ranger stuff. So, and it's the same writer, right?
Yeah, same writer.
Yeah, it's still. Look at you, Chris. I'm not. I do not look like that.
No, I'm not saying you look like that. I don't believe you.
Okay, we'll see.
That's what Chris looks like.
We're gonna prove you wrong.
All right.
My friend's gonna prove me wrong on purpose, so that's a good thing. He'll read it to spite me now.
Probably. Resistance number 3. Chris, you're excited about that one?
I'm excited. It's fighting for its first place spot on AWA, on my top 5 AWA books. I've been enjoying Resistance. I'm excited to see what happens in this issue.
Nice. All right, let's see. We got the series finale of Middle West. I am the only one that cares about this here. No, because Mike's not here. He's the only other one that reads it, I think. But yeah, this came out of nowhere. Last issue, I was reading the end of it, and it's like, next issue, the end. I'm like, what? So this is a very abrupt end, but we'll see how it gets wrapped up. Then we have G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero, Complete Silence, issue 1.
That's reprinting those 2 issues, but I didn't get to read them.
Yeah. Huh?
I didn't get to read
This
them.
is so much G.I. Joe.
Yeah, it is a lot of G.I. Joe. I mean, it's you're talking about like the original run, and then the then the one that they did like in the IDW run. That's the 2. Okay.
Yep.
I wasn't quite clear on what exactly it was, but
I think
knew.
this is Real American Hero reprints, though, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, like the original G.I. Joe Silent issue was issue 21 of the Marvel run.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a good issue.
It's 2 issues, though. There was another issue a couple of issues later, so they're combining both of them back to back.
Gotcha. Cool. And I believe that just leaves us with Batman issue 95, the first part of the Joker War. Finally here.
So it only took 5 months.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
I am too.
That's all I kind of have to say about it. I did see an image. I don't know if it's gonna be this issue, but maybe it'll be the next issue of Harley obviously being alive and her having like stitches across her neck, and I'm like, she looks badass. I love what James has been doing with Harley in particular.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't even care about what's going on with Batman at this point. I just really like Harley.
Yeah, it's like at this point, I don't even care about the Joker. It's like,
right?
I don't know why. It's just
Joker.
It's not
Who
grabbing
cares? Harley Quinn spotlight.
Harley Quinn has a scar on her neck. That's all I care about.
Exactly. It's all the stuff going on around Joker that's interesting.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it'll be cool to see how this actually fully gets kicked off now. So, and that's it. That's it for key issues.
And with that, now we're going to go into what's coming up from all of us. So does anybody have any news? I know Brant probably does.
I know Chris does.
I know I do. I'm going loud.
Don't. So
I do.
I don't. So the boys do. So Michael, you go first.
All right. Well, first thing I want to say is the new game release that came out, which is Paper Mario, the Origami King. Chris, I know you got one.
Yep.
Also, I'm doing a blind playthrough that I upload to my Durock
That's gonna
18
be
channel.
hard.
That me and Elliot do.
That's what I was thinking. Doing it blind so he can't see where he's looking.
He's doing it totally
Move
blindfolded
Move left. Do it right.
in the dark.
A blind playthrough. The blind
Just give me the
playthrough
art
is
on that.
something that we never saw on anything. We're just going in it clear-minded. That's what
Okay.
that's why they call it
No
a blind playthrough.
spoilers.
So it's a blind-minded playthrough.
It's like I don't know what's
Whatever.
happening,
So
but I'm
check
going
that-
into it. Yeah, gotcha. All right.
Well, you could check out me and Ellie's playthrough that we are doing cooperatively. So we're going to be uploading from time to
So
time.
it's not blind then. You
So-
have Ellie doing it, so now you've got somebody cheating for you.
What? No, it's cooperatively.
They're both blind.
They're both just searching around in the dark for the.
No,
Man,
I was
I'm
being
gonna
sincere.
whack you. I'm going to whack you.
I mean, you were both going into it blindly. I was okay.
Blind.
Just
Man.
go to Durock 18, subscribe, check out the videos. You're awesome people. And yeah.
Brett?
Michael's like, why did you come on, Brandon? Why are you here?
No, I'm like, that's what it's called, a blind playthrough.
I know. It's cool. I get it. I'm looking forward to it.
Of a blind playthrough is.
I'm gonna do
Yeah,
a blind playthrough now, and I actually am gonna be blindfolded. So I'm just gonna be like, I don't know what I'm doing, but
That's what I want to see.
yeah.
Brett,
Paper Mario literally gives you a paper cut because you just can't see it.
I don't even know how I got this paper cut. Every time you die, you should be forced to get a paper cut.
Oh God, I wouldn't play that game. That's
I would not play that
horrible.
game either. Paper cuts suck.
Oh, yes, they do.
I don't have anything except for
You
your
don't?
thing.
Okay, so I'm going to save that thing for last so we can co-op talk about it. So really quickly on channels, I took a week off last week. This week, most anticipated top 5 will be back on Friday. We're going to be doing Thursday and Saturday uploads. Also, I'm going to be doing a blind playthrough, or actually, I'm just going to be doing a playthrough on my Twitch. I did get The Last of Us Part 2. Somebody wants to see me suffer, so I will be doing that as per my promise. But I also do have Ghost of Tetsumi, so I will be doing that. I've been avoiding watching a lot of spoilers. I have watched a little bit of it, so I'm not going to be blind. But I mean, I will be playing that. I'll be playing Last of Us Part 2. And I might try to figure out a way to finagle my capture card. And I would love to not only do Paper Mario, but I would love to start a couple of other Nintendo Switch games that I have and will be getting. But for right now, we're going to focus on Last of Us 2 and Ghost of Tetsu. Why do I keep screwing this up? Tetsushima. So I'll be doing those 2 games for sure. Also, What the Card will have an update soon. I'm working on the video as we speak. My review for my channel should be up now. And now I'm going to get into the joint thing with Brant. So as you all know, well, 2 things are actually happening. There's going to be a giveaway starting. When is it starting, Brant?
Tomorrow.
So if you haven't subscribed to the Last Ember Press newsletter or the Shooting Star Presses newsletter, link is in my description for Shooting Star Presses. Link is on Last Ember Press to join the Last Ember Press newsletter. We are going to be doing a Sharks and Superheroes giveaway. It's going to be going all the way through until Shark Week. We are going to be announcing the winner during Shark Week. And it all plays into Celestial Falcon. Issue number 2 is going to be dropping on the why was I about to say Tuesday? Celestial Falcon dropping not on Tuesday. It will be dropping on Kickstarter at the end of August, I believe. So far is the tentative
Towards the end of August. Yes.
And we've already started seeing art pages. I can't wait. If you subscribe to the newsletter, you will see some sketches. Brant has already shared 1 page on around the campfire. So if you're not subscribed to the Last Ember Press, Shooting Star Press's newsletters, subscribe, because we're going to be sharing a lot of really cool art that we're getting from Lucas, a lot of cool stuff that's going to be going on before the campaign, during the campaign, and then during the campaign, we're going to be having a lot of fun. I am really excited for this issue, and I'm sure Brant is as well. We've been super excited to bring it out for a while because there's a lot of really awesome stuff that's going to be happening in this issue. And if Lucas's art is evidence of any of that, yeah, it's going to be awesome.
Yeah. Lucas is, he's stepped up his game. He's delivering some beautiful pages. He's already turned in 4 thumbnails, 3 or 4 pages. Yeah. So we've got some cool cover artists. We are narrowing down a new colorist as well. So we're,
we want to announce one. Can we announce one cover artist, please? You know,
Yeah, I talked about them in the newsletter, so you can talk about either one.
okay, so Brant and I actually did go with the artist who did Cat and Brant's crossover print.
Yes.
So we are having her do a variant.
Excited.
We actually got the sketches to another variant, and this artist did 2 sketches, and one of them might be showing up in a different way, which I agree with Brant, and we're excited. We're just so excited. I got to say, there's so many amazing artists out there. A lot of people brought in submissions for this book, and I can't wait till the Kickstarter comes to really start sharing all these covers that we have for. Well, not a lot. There's only a handful of covers, but they're all beautiful. We made sure that we picked the cream of the crop kind of covers for this Kickstarter, and the book itself is going to be spectacular. So I'm really excited. I'm super excited. For the
You guys do have a question. They're just asking 4 winners, just 1 winner, right?
1 winner gets all 4 prizes. Yes.
Yes. 1 winner, 4 prizes.
Everyone who enters will get a digital comic.
Yes.
So you're all winners in that regard.
Yeah, but only 1 winner is going to get the 4 prizes.
1 winner gets sharks. The other winners just get digital comics.
That's it.
Yeah.
And with that, that's it for this episode. I hope you all enjoyed. I hope you all have a wonderful New Comic Book Day tomorrow, as that is when New Comic Book Day should always be. And we will see you all next week for another episode of this show. Take care, everybody. Have a great what?
Of this show, yeah.
Whatever this show is called.
You forget what it's called.
I did not forget what it was called. I was thinking of a different outro, and it didn't sound right in my head as I was saying it, so I just ended up saying this show.
Good.